some last minute stuff. I guess I'll have to go in for that COVID testing, as I mentioned before. I don't know what the next couple of days are going to be like, but what was there today in terms of the news and stuff? I guess the first one, it seemed like somebody on YouTube bought the Mavic Mini 2 early by accident, I guess, from a store. Although you can see here, it's called the DJI Mini 2. At first, you'd be wondering, is this fake? But this is really hard to fake if it is. It seems like it's a blooper in terms of the retail people selling this too early. Maybe that was their display model they're supposed to use. But you can see here in this guy's video, he buys a DJI Mini 2, there's the box and everything. Pretty much gives you all the details I guess you'll need, unless you assume this is fake. But again, I highly doubt it. That's too much work to fake something like that. So in the person's video, you can see everything from the drone itself. It looks really similar to the original Mavic Mini. But I guess the one thing that's kind of interesting is they got rid of the name the Mavic on it. So I assume they feel this is a big enough brand on its own. You can clearly see for the controller, it looks like they're using the Mavic Air 2 controller. It's basically larger, you put the controller on the top. For details about the drone itself, you can see on the camera on the front, it actually says 4K, which was kind of expected if you're going to be giving an upgraded model. On the side of the box as well, you can actually see the details of some specs. It's staying under 250 grams as expected. It says the flight time is 31 minutes max, which is kind of interesting. I thought it would have been less just to try to reduce the weight and add in other features. It says it has OcuSync now too, OcuSync 2.0. This is actually a huge improvement because connection issues is one of the biggest issues with the original Mavic Mini. I know for a lot of people, they said that's enough for them to actually upgrade. And of course, as it says here, a 3-axis gimbal camera with 4K. So that it would be the huge upgrade. Some other details I noticed with the drone itself, just from the video, you can see it uses USB-C now. On the camera itself, it makes me curious whether or not the original filters would actually fit on this one. But you can see clearly on the front it says 4K on it now as well. If I heard this person correctly too, he was saying he was trying to launch the drone but it wouldn't let him. And he was saying it would be November 5th. So expect an announcement pretty soon, I guess. I was actually wondering why in this one, if you guys remember with the other leaks, the Flymer combo seems way more expensive than say the previous one in terms of a price increase. I think the reason is because of that bag. Whereas with the original Mavic Mini, it used that gray holder, which in my opinion is one of the causes for that propeller always screwing up, having that motor load issue. So hopefully this would improve that, but that would explain actually the price jump. I actually don't care about bags like that usually. I think the question on my mind are things such as, even though it shoots 4K, what about the bit rate? There's no information about that. Because you could have 4K, for example, but if it's really low bit rate, then what's the point? It'll look really horrible overall. But hopefully it's actually good. Is this enough to make you want to upgrade immediately? I know for some of you, you said regardless, if it has a better connection, then you'd want to basically use this instead. It almost makes me curious how much trouble that retail store would get from a company like that to release a product early or accidentally selling it. I thought the point of sale system would actually deny it if they tried selling it, or if it's a demo unit, for example, which is a possibility, it'll come up as 1 cent or something along that lines, and it'll say, hey, something is wrong. But I guess this gives you as much information as you need that this is definitely coming. From small drones to a large drone, I thought this was kind of interesting. I remember reading all that news about how China's essentially leading the way with drones, especially with larger ones. I know there was recently some shown the shape of a helicopter, for example, and according to all the news, there was an air show recently. But as it turned out, people captured footage of the drone actually crashing. That's horrible. For example, people posted online, like here, you can see in the show, it takes off, I guess it tries to reach to its destination and all that, and according to this, it doesn't, and eventually it crashes. Wow, that's not good. This is the same one they were advertising that it could fly, for example, 3,000 meters in altitude, hold 200 kilograms of weight. I believe too, this drone is actually called the Predator. Maybe it's to match what the US names their military drones and all that stuff, but that's not a good way to show your tech, I guess, especially in this case. Alright, see you guys later.